More now, the major breaking news we're following. The U.S. House of Representatives overwhelmingly voting to avert a government shutdown after days of panic here in Washington and indeed around the country. Joining us now, Republican Congressman Rich McCormick of Georgia. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. I know you're one of the 34 Republicans who voted against this spending bill. Why did you vote against what the president-elect Trump wanted?
Well, in my opinion, there has to be a conservative conscience, and I believe that us 34 we're the original DOGE, if you will. We're the people who are conservative. We believe that the CRs that we keep on voting for are really, in this case, an omnibus or a minibus, if you will. We've done nothing in 2 years. And when I came up here, I promised to address the debt crisis, and it is a crisis. As a matter of fact, right now, that $1 trillion of interest we're paying this year is taking up a considerable amount of the money we spend in Congress already. And then add to that, in about 9 years, 45% of our entire budget will be spent on interest payments on our debt if we continue what we're doing right now. We simply can't do that anymore. Our children deserve better. I'm trying to save Social Security from bankruptcy. They'll have an automatic cut of 21% in about 9 years. And actually, even sooner than that, because just 2 weeks ago, we voted to increase spending by $300 billion in a recent bill that a lot of Republicans voted for. I just don't think that's sustainable.
So let me just be precise, Congressman. On this specific issue, you disagree with Trump.
I specifically disagree with this bill. When I look at bills, I don't say who's for it, who's against it. I know what's right. I know what my people want me to do. I know what I was sent here for. It's not a matter of having input from people outside of my staff and my constituency. To me, it's about doing the right thing for America's future. And if we don't do that, why are we even here? There's always a great cause to spend money on. But if we keep on doing what we're doing, we will bankrupt Social Security. We will bankrupt Medicare. We will bankrupt Medicaid. We will be a country of the past if we continue doing what we're doing. We're leading the world, other than Japan. We're leading the world in debt to GDP ratio. With a GDP of $27 trillion, that should be scary to people. We should realize that we are the world standard of currency. If we continue to do what we do, we won't be anymore.
Elon Musk just posted just a little while ago that the House Speaker Johnson did a good job handling all of this, given the circumstances. Do you agree with Elon Musk?
I think he's done his best job. I don't think that this is an easy job at all. You have a very narrow majority in Congress. Even going into next year, you'll have a bigger majority in the Senate than you will in Congress. So I get it. Hardest job in the world. I totally understand. I watched his interview right before I came on. My heart goes out to him. There's no easy answers for this, but to fulfill our promises, it starts with having a win. In 2 years, I have not seen any decrease in the deficit spending. As a matter of fact, we've increased it. I've seen several times where we didn't just pass a CR, we passed an omnibus. And that's not what we promised to do.
Don't you worry, Congressman, what would have happened in our country in the coming days if this legislation had failed and there would have been a federal government shutdown? The implications for millions and millions of Americans out there?
I worry about America's future in general. I want to see the budget done the right way. You could have done a pay for. You can't tell me that the 40% of FEMA that we spent this year was spent on COVID, which was over 2 years ago. I'm an ER doctor. I've been there, done that. My last ER shift was 2 years ago, almost to the day. And that has been over for 2 years, yet we're still paying 40% of our FEMA. That's what we just bailed out in this one. $113 billion more added to the debt. On top of the 300 we just added a couple weeks ago, that's another $500 billion to your children's debt that they'll have to pay for it for future generations. And we did that knowing that the COVID money shouldn't have been allotted for that, but 40%. And guess what's going to happen in 2025? We just voted to do that again. We could have had a pay for. We could have saved money. You know there's a ton of waste, fraud, and abuse in government, but we did not address that. We chose to do it the easy way instead of the right way.
But does Speaker Johnson, Congressman, have your vote when he's up for re-election on January 3rd? Do you think he will survive this whole ordeal?
I think he has a pretty good chance if he has President Trump's support. I don't want to go through what we went through last time. I don't want to waste time with that. I want to have us come to a consensus on the speaker right away so we can get to work, because we have a lot of work to do.
Congressman Rich McCormick of Georgia, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you.